Well, joining us now are puppies. We are here with the team from Southern Cross Service Dogs, and it's so delightful to have them here. They do wonderful work. And joining us now are Dale and Brandon and Matt and Maddie and a yet-to-be-named puppy. How are you guys?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Great. So let's start with you, Matt. What is this organization? What is
So we're Southern Cross Service Dogs, and we provide service dogs to veterans in need. We provide service dogs to people suffering from PTS, MST, and TBI. And we're doing what we can to help prevent veteran suicide.
Hey, baby. I understand, which is sadly more prevalent than we know, correct?
Much more.
So Brandon, you were in the military, right?
Correct.
So tell us about your journey in the military.
So I served about 10 years in the Marine Corps. Started as a military police officer, went to become a dog handler, dog trainer, and then spent my last 7 years in the Special Operations Command, training and working dogs there.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And Dale, what is your connection to this organization?
I was lucky enough to get paired with them in a golf outing for Johnny Damon's golf outing, and we all hit it off right immediately. And, you know, there's what's laying on the floor right now. I grew up with golden retrievers, and, you know, so right away when we started talking, it was just a no-brainer because these guys are tremendous human beings, and what they're doing and saving veterans' lives every single day is just priceless.
And Brandon, we were talking backstage. I told you I grew up singing with the Futures of America. Yeah. Patriotic singing group from the time I was 12 to the time I was 23. You know, and our veterans are so important. They're really important. We have to be thankful for our freedom every single day that we live, right? And so a lot of times when someone does come home, right, and then they're going back to civilian life, as we call it, right? Sometimes the transition isn't as easy, right? And so the puppies are making it easier. What are some of the things, Brandon, that you're training the dogs to do? What can a canine companion or service dog do for people?
There's truly a very wide range of different things. So kind of we look at it in different categories. Like Matt mentioned, we focus on post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injuries, and military sexual trauma. But inside of that, you can have a wide range of different symptoms and different things that are causing these problems for you. So when we look at what the dogs are doing, it can be anything from recognizing anxiety and providing some type of interruption to that, whether it's deep pressure, getting your attention, causing you to focus on the dog versus everything else that's going around. A big thing we teach them is to create space around the veteran to be able to get them back out in public and still have a buffer zone of some comfortable space. And then as we continue to develop, our friend Maddie here, as he's a little bit bigger, we're looking at some mobility support and things like that for him. He's on the taller side out of our dogs, and he's very intelligent. So it's really fun to kind of teach him those extra steps as far as retrieving things, whether it's a prosthetic for somebody who's an amputee, a cell phone in an emergency, something like that, or helping somebody stand back up and navigate that way.
What was one of the most important things to you, Dale, when you decided to onboard with them? You know, what was it about their mission or what they're doing that spoke to your heart?
I mean, these are, you know, what we're talking about right here is I'm sitting next to a hero. Mm-hmm. And for us to be able to honor our heroes like that and what he's doing is so important. You know, it's no cost to the veteran. They're training the dogs specifically for the veteran that's in need. And just to be able to, you know, be a part of something like that to hopefully be able to save, you know, lives. I mean, they can go over the numbers of the suicides of our military, and one is too high. And so if we're able to, you know, help out in any way that we can, and my part is just spreading the word and getting everything out there. It's so important. It really is. I mean, it's God's work, and, you know, thankful that these guys allowed me to be a part of it.
Now, Matt, you were originally from Long Island, right?
Correct.
And you were, I guess, were you in the finance world or?
I've been in the IT world, supporting
the
finance sector my entire career.
Okay. And so what was the moment where you said, you know what, I need to be serving in this way?
You know, I was at the point in my life where I was looking for something to do to give back. And during COVID, my family got a COVID puppy.
Okay.
And I said to Karen, my wife, I really would love our puppy to be a great dog. Maybe you could ask some of our friends if we could find a dog trainer for our dog. And Karen found Brandon through some mutual friends.
Amazing.
And, you know, we hit it off. And Brandon would come over on Mondays at 2:00, and it was dog trading coffee and bourbon. We became good friends. And during that time, he would tell me about this dream he had to provide service dogs to veterans.
Okay.
Right. So he spent a decade protecting our country, and he's not done trying to save veterans.
Brandon.
So it was a no-brainer to want to help him do this.
It's amazing. And Matt, you brought along some of friends that you know, right? So tell us about the connection with a famed actor who has puppies.
Cole Hauser came to support us at our first gala.
Okay.
And he's been at our galas ever since. He's a tremendous supporter of us. We actually have a couple of puppies that are his dogs.
Okay.
So he's very good to us in our organization.
Now, how can people around the country help?
Right now, the biggest help we need is financial support.
Okay.
You know, so it takes about $60,000 to raise and train a service dog. We have the puppy you're holding is our 8th dog in the program.
This baby is like, do you hear the baby?
Yes.
You hear this baby?
Mm-hmm.
The baby's like, I think I rocked the baby to sleep.
You did. His eyes closed a little while ago. Yeah. And so he's our 8th in the program.
Okay.
And this isn't a cheap endeavor. It is so. When I first started doing this, I looked at the prices that service dog organizations were saying what they cost, and I couldn't almost believe it myself. And now that we've been doing this for 3 years, I could tell you it takes every bit of that.
It's a specialized program.
Yep.
It really is. There has to be a certain way, you know, not every dog can pass the training, right, Brandon? Right? So you end up, you know, trying to get the dog to be able to be that companion that you need them to be, that service dog that you need them to be, right? And then after, I guess, they pass a series of tests, then you know that they're safe to partner up with someone, right? Is there a list of vets that you have that are asking for someone right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And we have an application on our website. Okay. So if anybody knows anybody looking for a service dog, you know, fill out an application on our website. We're looking to help as many people as we can.
And you have events, right? Throughout the year too?
We do have a lot of events.
Tickets too, and
yep. But one thing Brandon always says, and he'll always say that we're looking for the veteran that we haven't seen. Right, the veteran that's been at home, that hasn't been out of the house. People, you know, that person's not going to find us. We need help finding that person. So if anybody knows that type of person, you know, let us know. Let them know. You know, we just had our most recent veteran. His mother filled out his application.
My son's school just had a tragedy at my son's college, and you're right. Sometimes it's like the kid in the back of the classroom, right? So someone that has served our country and served our country well and is now just maybe quiet or has wanted to maybe disappear or withdraw from the community, those are the people we need to find.
Correct.
Because they're going to need our help.
Yep.
I love what you're doing. I love the mission. Dale, what are your thoughts? So when you went to that first event, right, with your friend Johnny Damon?
I'll tell you, one of the things he knows that it's been the toughest growing up with golden retrievers is, you know, wanting to pet the dogs, you know, and when they're working, when they have that vest on, can't be petting them because they are working and he's doing an amazing job training them. And, you know, just to see him in action training these dogs, and you see this one's going to be an unbelievable dog already. I mean, falling asleep and we've passed the dog around and it's been incredible. And he went and he picked that one out specifically and all the dogs. So, you know, watching what he does, I can't imagine doing what he does. And he does an amazing job. So I'm just, like I said, I'm really proud to be a part of this organization that, you know, military members in need. And, they, you know, he's helping out every single day by training a dog specifically for that veteran.
And you knew your calling, Brandon, right? Did you have a dog growing up?
I did.
Okay, tell us about your family member.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So his name was Thumper.
Okay.
And he was just a mix. Everyone always said we should have called him Socks because he was all black, but he had 2 white front paws that looked like he had socks on. But he was, you know, just my childhood dog growing up, and always enjoyed, you know, whether it was playing with him, laying with him, just those regular interactions. But then when I joined the military and realized that was an option, I knew that's where I wanted to go with it.
And who instilled in you a feeling of patriotism? Like, why does your freedom matter? Was it like an uncle, a grandfather, a mother, a sister, just something that you were born with? Like,
So I don't come from a big military family
Okay.
at all. I truly a big calling for me was I was in sixth grade when 9/11 happened. And one, of course, remember that, right? Everyone always says you'll remember where you are and what was going on. But I guess the formative part for me was the years later. You would always see on the news the service members laying down their life overseas, everything kind of going on. And that really shaped the picture for me of these people are literally giving their life over and over for what we're doing here. I have to do something involved in that. And I knew that that's kind of the direction that I wanted to go.
And you still do. You still are serving. So,
Yeah.
in a different way. Thank you very,
thank
very
you.
much, Brandon. And thank you, Dale. And
Absolutely.
Matt, rounding it out, your thoughts?
Well, the one thing I'll say is that the organization is built on sacrifice, right? Dale mentioned Brandon training the dogs and the things he does. It's a 24/7 job, right? It's not something he stops doing, right? You're holding a puppy. Puppies require a lot of attention. Brandon often has many dogs in his care.
Mhm.
He has other dogs with our puppy raisers that he goes and visits. It's a job that never stops. His whole family's involved in it. His 2 daughters help him train dogs. His wife helps him. This is a real family endeavor. My wife helps. My daughter helps. Dale's family helps. So everybody helps in their way, but it's a lifestyle now. It's not just 9 to 5 helping out. Dale and I don't do this part-time. We don't do it full-time. We do it part-time.
Right.
Brandon lives this full-time, and it truly is a sacrifice. And he's doing it now to save veterans' lives. So he served to save our lives and protect our freedoms. Now he's trying to save his brothers and sisters.
It's nice to have you guys here. Really, truly. I thank you. I thank you for bringing this story to life. And really, at the end of the day, that's what my show is about. It's about helping others. And that's why I started it. And so thank you for helping me help you, I guess is the way to say it. And so donations are welcome, and they can go to your website, or people can, like you said, just reach out, and sometimes there's who knows, maybe there's a dog food company or there's a something kind of company. Everybody can make a little difference. They say we can share our time, our talent, or our treasure. Right. And sometimes all three. So time, talent, treasure. Thank you very much. So it is Southern Cross Service Dogs.
Correct.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
And for you at home, we hope you enjoyed this segment, helping people, one person at a time or one puppy at a time. I wish there was a way that I could help you feel what I'm feeling right now with the warmth and the comfort of just this beautiful animal. So thanks for watching, and be well.
I want you to play. I want you to play.
Joining us now is Therese Myers, and we're going to be talking about her nonprofit. You know what it's called? Yes, Girls Create. 3 simple words that make me feel so much joy in my heart. With us now is Therese. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me, Donna.
So it's Yes, Girls Create.
Yes,
Okay.
Girls Create.
What was it in 2019 that made you start this nonprofit?
I was riding the train one day and I just said, there has to be something more for my life. And in an instant, I think I summoned in the universe to help me really transform my thinking. And I attended a leadership program, and it unveiled what we see today as Yes, Girls Create.
Fabulous. So exciting. Now, this event just happened this year, correct?
Yes.
So towards the middle of February 22nd, was it?
Yes, 2/22.
Okay, 2/22. Tell us about what you experienced that day.
So Yes, Girls Create is a creative mentorship for girls. We bring in female leaders from across the globe to talk about their greatness, but we do it with a creative activity. One day, about 3 years ago, I decided that I really wanted to do something transformational for the girls. I was in conversation with my sisters, and they they said, you know what, you know some really dope women. And we said, we can make a conference. And what evolved from that was Be Well, Be Creative. And my sister owns a wellness company called the Be Well Experience. And in partnership with them, this is our third year in 2025. So February 22nd, we launched our third annual Be Well, Be Creative. We hosted about 80 girls from across literally all of New York.
Beautiful.
And about 40 women to come in and do creative and wellness activities every hour on hour. So it was a full day of excitement that was absolutely phenomenal.
Now, when you're talking about wellness, all types of wellness, including financial literacy,
That's
I
correct.
thought that was so important. And what you're doing is you're actually showcasing opportunities for the girls to have careers in their older days.
Yes. The idea is that you have to be able to see yourself in these professions. And we don't often want to just have someone talking to us. I can tell you that I do not work well that way.
Talk with me,
that's
right? Not at me.
And also show me. And I think it's so exciting to have the tangible side of it. So partner the tangible with the actual individual who is the mentor and let them tell about their journey, what worked and what didn't. We want them to be totally authentic and transparent, but also make it fun. And what we find is that no matter what the topic is, the girls literally, they light up when they hear the experience. So to be present and to have the representation, but also have that physical activity, guess what? It creates magic every time.
You've even baked cakes.
Yes.
Right? You
yes.
had a baker one time.
We had a baker who actually was an artist.
Okay.
And I guess she always wanted to draw. And what she found that she also loved baking, and she took her mom's favorite recipe and she began to doctor it up. And then she started finding, I guess, fondant. And then she started creating. And literally, she is probably one of New York's top bakers now.
Now, without giving away the secret to your success, right? You onboarded in 3 different age groups. And what are they? And how does the butterfly come to play?
It is really about transformation. Our girls are ages 8 to 11, and they are our caterpillars. Our middle school girls are age 12 to 14, and they're chrysalis. And then our big girls are the butterflies, which is truly transformational, and they're 15 to 18. And the idea is that the butterflies always mentor down to the younger girls. Many of our butterflies were literally caterpillars when we first started, 6 years ago, and they have evolved over time. They mentor down, and they really see almost a metamorphosis of being a part of this program literally for the last 6 years.
And they can be collaborators, ongoing, lifelong,
Yes.
I guess, friendships, if you will, and,
most definitely.
bonding, which is so exciting. The financial literacy part too, I thought was interesting because what ends up happening is you have these, like, I would say games or these opportunities or these little nuances that go on throughout the workshop. And at the end of it, it's that aha moment.
Yes.
It's like, well, here's how you chose to make these choices and this is how your choice impacted you.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
Therefore, they might want to make a better choice. But by learning and by doing, that's how they're going to know.
Absolutely.
So you brought a tote bag. I just want to take a look at this. What did you bring? This
We
is awesome.
have some of the best Yes Girls Create swag that's out there, from bags to T-shirts to signature notebooks for journaling. We are big into journaling. We really want our girls to write their thoughts down because we find that when it stays in our head, it will ultimately stay in our head. And so if you write it down, hopefully you will begin to birth the amazing ideas that we see out in the world, because we know that we are girls who create and we are great. And we know we can do it by just giving them this constant metaphor of the butterfly in literally everything that we give out.
It's so wonderful. I got a chance to meet you this past weekend, and I was so impressed by you. And I said, "Would you please come on my show?"
That's so
So
thankful.
I'm thankful for you as well because here we go. So it was Nicole Burke's show that we both did on the same past weekend, and we both walked in and we just connected. And
Yes.
I'm so glad that you actually showed up. I said, "Oh, well, we only tape one day a month," and it happens to be Monday, and you were here. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
What are some of the sponsors that you have that help you? How can the community get involved, either starting something, a chapter like this in one of their cities, or could a national sponsor help make a difference? What do you need, Therese?
So I can tell you that sponsorship makes all the difference. This year for our Be Well, Be Creative, we were so fortunate to have Western Governors University be our presenting sponsor. And we
It's your
also,
alma mater, isn't
yes,
it?
it's also my alma
that's
mater.
awesome. Okay.
And so it really, with that connection, we also ensure that our girls see that there's opportunities, but we want our parents to see it also. So the partnership with Western Governors, absolutely changed the trajectory of really what our conference turned into. We also had corporate sponsorship with Chase to really help solidify a lot of the financial wellness and learning that we do, not just with the girls, but also with the parents. We had St. John's, who also helped with our nutritional side. We have about 30 mini sponsors, I like to call them, but literally really, they are big bang for the buck, from product sponsors, anything from journals to pens to marketing apparel to just mom and pop businesses who make sure that we eat because we meet literally every month.
Okay.
So we meet twice a month. So we have people who donate food, who donate their time, who donate their employees. So for the community to show up in any kind of way, guess what? Believe me, it really does take a village. And we could not do what we do without the sponsorship. And it does, whether you're corporate or whether you're just an individual like Donna Blake, right? It's just about ensuring that we partner with each other in a way that is meaningful and that we see the impact of what that looks like.
And it is all about impact.
Yes.
It is really, truly making a difference, right? In a little way, in a big way. I thank you so much. So this is your nonprofit, right? So even though you have a full-time job,
yes.
which is very demanding,
Yes.
you're able to take your free time now and make a difference.
Yes, and then trust me, I don't know about free time, but it takes a whole lot of time. So I'm up late at night, meeting people and just really amplifying the message of what was placed in my heart to impact these young ladies. So I'm super thankful, and thankful to you for just you being a yes to being in conversation and seeing that there's, it all starts with a dream. So we thank you.
Well, it's interesting, about the word create, because I was in second grade and my grandfather was an artist, my great-grandmother was an artist. I was in second grade and I wrote a poem that got printed in the school little newsletter.
Yes.
And then I also participated in the flag contest and I won second place in the drawing for the school flag.
You have a great memory.
So, yeah, well, I have a good memory. But what I meant by that was it's not just giving myself the flowers for that.
Yeah.
It was about being someplace where I had access for someone to tell me
Yes.
that go create, you
Yes.
have talent. And I think that's what you're providing for them as well, is just a solid ground of acknowledgement for them to be able to say, yes, I am a girl who creates.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Being a yes for themselves.
And you know what? A lot of times they may not have that at home, or they don't even know. And honestly, a lot of our girls are just super creative. And it's okay to think with that side of our mind, right? We all are so different, and we instill that it's okay to be unique, it's okay to be different. We don't want to be like anyone else, right? No. There's no such thing as perfect. We are all imperfect. We are all here one time trying to just get it right. Whether you're 8, 18, 38, 48, we are just trying to be the best person that we can be. And guess what? How you create is really destined for what the world needs.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you, Therese.
Thank you.
Therese Myers.
I appreciate you.
Be a yes. Be a yes to yourself. Be a yes to those that you know, whether it's your child, a niece, the neighbor next door. Yes, girls create. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Joining us now is Evan Hirsch. Hello, Evan.
How are you, Donna?
Doing well. Had a wonderful time at the Grammys wearing your beautiful design, so thank you for that. And now that is going to be in your show tomorrow.
Yes, we're having New York Fashion Week tomorrow.
Okay.
Fall, winter.
What is New York Fashion Week?
So New York Fashion Week, it goes back to the 90s, but it's a week where all of the designers show their newest collections, and I've grown from this show to be one of them to show my collections during New York Fashion Week.
Congratulations.
So that's been amazing.
Now, how do you find out if you made the list? If you get to be in that?
So I always talk about the CFDA. They're the organizers of the entire New York Fashion Week, roster and calendars and where designers are showcasing. And usually they'll contact you. You apply for their schedule, and then they'll contact you, designating you a time. And then you pretty much just wait till the list is dropped 3 weeks before Fashion Week, and your name is right up there. I'm right after Michael Kors this season. It's Michael Kors at 11, Evan Hirsch at 11:30. So that's been pretty wild.
When did you find that out?
When I looked at the schedule and I was like, oh, I wonder who my neighbors are. And it's my idol, Michael Kors.
You and I talked about that 3 years ago, well, 4 almost, when we started working together.
Yeah,
we said
manifested.
it's gonna come a day. And that's now. That's so crazy. Because, well, as you know, I'm in the process of publishing my first book. Not
Yes,
a book that I'm
which I'm
published
excited
in,
for.
but my first book. And I told the publisher, I said, well, there was one day that I went to, it was a book review
Yeah.
was open then. And I went, okay, I'm right between this person and Dr. Wayne Dwyer, if it's going to be like a self-help book, right? I saw it. I visualized it being on the shelf, right?
Right.
You did the same thing, but in fashion. Wow. Did your heart start beating faster when you saw that?
I just like kind of laughed because I was like, there's no way. This must be like a mistake. Because why is my name right below like the icon that is Michael Kors? But it was real.
Yeah, well, you are up and coming, but you've also arrived. So congratulations to you. I know that a lot of times you go to the special events, you get to interview these other designers that you've always been interested in knowing, but now you're there. Your name's there. It's in print. It's in black and white. Nobody can take that away from you. So congratulations. Where are you hosting? Where is it going to be
So
hosted?
it's going to be at the Friedrichs Pontone Gallery in Tribeca. So they were very, very, gracious in hosting my show, which I'm very excited for. It's this beautiful art gallery, and they have this amazing exhibition going on with these illuminated pictures that you'll get to see, and the artist is just incredible. So I'm really excited. I'm also working with the nails are going to be done by Lachant, and I have Banana Millinery doing all of their headpieces. And so it's definitely going to be a really stacked show that I'm very, very excited for.
Let's take a look at that. And for the Grammys, to match your cape, did you notice? I did like the cat eye nails. Did the cat eye
loved
nails?
that.
Did
You
the cat
really
eye
had the
nails?
whole outfit in mind.
I
the
did.
whole look.
The whole look. I wanted to do a good job for you because I'm like, if I'm modeling this, I better look the part. So thank you, Evan. Now let's take a look at how Evan Hirsch did Fashion Week.
Believe it. I can't believe it went and it's gone and all of the hard work can be shown to everybody, which is really exciting.
I love you, Evan Hirsch.
I love you too,
Bye.
always.
Evan Hirsch. Evan Hirsch. Be well. Now is a new friend of mine. His name is Ethan Klenofsky, and he is an international award winner, and I wanted to celebrate his wins right here on CBS with him. Hello, Ethan. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to be here.
One of the things that I like about you, Ethan, is that you are very other-centered. Do you know what I mean by that? You don't brag about yourself. You care more about someone else sometimes than you even do yourself. And I loved having you call and check on me. Sometimes you would just call as we were preparing for the segment just to see how my day went. And that was really kind of you. And I wanted to let you know that that made a difference. So thank you for that. Because sometimes it can be stressful doing what I do, right? Mm-hmm. And it's really, really nice when you would call me and just be like, well, how was your day? And I was like, Ethan, my day was good. And how was your day? But I'm excited to meet you because you have done some extraordinary things. What made you decide to embark on a journey of applying yourself to winning different, titles or awards or accolades?
Well, I used to earn awards when I was younger. Some noteworthy awards, like in public school, was the Triple C Award from the Attorney General for commitment, character, and courage. I earned the Suffolk Zone Physical Education Leadership Award for leadership and excellence in physical education. I was achieving so many awards, so when I found these awards over the internet, I was like, why not go for them, add more to my collection?
And some of these things take a lot of hours.
Yes.
Right? A lot of dedication. So let's talk about the first one. What was the first one you wanted to bring to our attention today, Ethan?
The Congressional Award. The Congressional Award is United States Congress's highest honor for youth for ages 14 to 24-year-olds. What you have to do for it is a certain number of hours of voluntary service, physical fitness, personal development, and an expedition or exploration. There's 6 levels of the award. There's a bronze certificate leading up all the way to the gold medal.
And what did you receive?
I received the bronze certificate.
And what did you need to do to accomplish that? What were the steps that you took?
I need to do at least 30 hours of voluntary public service. So what I did for that was I donated blood. I wrote thank you cards to hospital staff, and I worked in a food pantry at Gerald Ryan Outreach Center in Wyandanch.
Lovely. What else did you, what were there other requirements that you had to do?
Physical fitness for 15 hours.
And what did you do for that?
I walked around my block for 1 hour straight.
Good.
And then personal development, I worked in my mom's friend's law office, Sugarman Law PC, Shari Sugarman. You know, I was an intern there for 15 hours. And then for the expedition exploration, I did that virtually because I had a virtual option because of the pandemic. So I made fettuccine Alfredo and did a write-up on it.
I love that.
Yeah. And my mentor was actually a councilman in my town, Dwayne Gregory.
Okay. And now what was the title of that award again?
The Congressional Award.
Okay, so that Congressional Award, right? You wanted to also be on my show because not just to celebrate your own accolades, you actually wanted people to be able to apply to it,
Well,
right?
yeah,
You wanted to bring awareness to that.
Not many people know these awards I've earned exist, and I want to spread the word so hopefully more people will go for them. I mean, like with one of the other awards I'm going to talk about, only 8 people on Long Island, including me, have earned this. Only 8, and that's not enough. We need to bump that number up higher.
Okay, so what is that award?
That's the Duke of Edinburgh International Award.
Wow.
That was created by the late Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, in 1956. The Congressional Award was actually created in 1979. So the Duke of Edinburgh has kind of the same setup. There's voluntary service, physical fitness, skills, and an adventurous journey. So it's kind of like the Congressional Award. They just have some differences, like you have to spend at least an hour per week, you know, doing your activities, which I've done. Like for the bronze level, which I did, I had to do it for at least 3 months plus an extra 3 months in one of the 3 main categories, so 6 months in total.
Okay.
So for that, I volunteered at my local senior center. I did bowling. My goal was to score 100 or more without bumpers, and I actually achieved that quite a few times.
Wow.
And I'm not that good of a bowler, but I achieved the goal. I achieved over 100, like maybe 4 times, maybe.
Okay,
without
good
bumpers.
for you. Good for you.
For physical fitness, for skills, personal development, I did public speaking. I worked with another councilman in my town, Terrence McSweeney. We wrote a speech about community service, and I gave that speech to Boy Scout troops, town board meetings, and, you know, everywhere.
Do you like inspiring others?
Yes, I do.
You do, right? It takes, you know, when you said that you were little and they also gave you an award for courage, right?
That was in 8th grade.
Yeah. So what is it, Ethan, that makes you unique, where it makes it just a little more, I would say, challenging sometimes, you know, to do the things that you do on a daily basis, because you have to put in that extra little bit of effort, right?
Yeah, like when I did bowling, sometimes I got frustrated a bit when I didn't reach my goal every week, but I just kept going at it, and eventually I finally reached the goal that I set for this award.
Extraordinary. Very
And
extraordinary.
then for Venture's Journey, I did a virtual tour of the Roman Colosseum, did a report on that, and then I also did a write-up on a California adventure I took in August of 2023.
Wonderful. And what was the third award that you wanted to talk about today?
This is called the President's Volunteer Service Award.
Okay.
This is from the President of the United States himself. So it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you can volunteer almost anywhere you want. You know, there's some certain age groups, like there's a 5 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 25, and 26 plus. Each age group has different amount of hours, and all people have to do is just do the necessary hours, get a verification letter, and you can get the award. Anyone could go for it, not just kids or teens, but adults too, like yourself.
Now, how did you become such a good researcher? How did you realize that these things were out there? Are you an avid reader? Do you go online to research things, Ethan?
I don't remember how I found this over the internet, but I just found it one day, and I looked through the websites, looked through, and I'm like, I want to go for them.
And you did, and you achieved it.
And if people like President Trump, I would say go for the President's Award. You can get a letter with his signature on it, and you'll get a nice certificate too, and a medal or a pin.
It's lovely. Mm-hmm. You are a good icon and a good role model for others. And when we talked on the phone, originally you had seen a friend of yours on my show, and you're like, well, how do I get on the show? And I said, well, just like you did, Ethan. You called me up. I loved your idea. I thought it was great, and I wanted to celebrate you. And I thank you. Thank you for what it takes in life to just go that extra effort to achieve something, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're great at that, and I'm happy to celebrate you today.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you wanted to share with the audience? Were you excited about being here?
Yes.
Yeah. I was excited about having you on.
I say the more volunteer work you do, there's another award I've earned in 2022. It's called the Daily Point of Light Award. It was created by late President George H.W. Bush to celebrate volunteers who are stepping up to the plate and solving some serious problems out there. So the more people that volunteer out there do well for the community, you can earn the Daily Point of Light Award too.
Would you be willing to shake my hand, or at least give me a fist pump? Would you be willing?
Can I shake your hand?
Yeah, either way, it's up to you. I'm just inviting you to, but only if you're comfortable doing that.
I'm comfortable.
It was really nice to have you here. Truly, truly nice to have you here. And good success on your journey. I know that you brought some of your family here with you to support you today too.
Yes, I have my mom, my cousin Phyllis, and my cousin Larry.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for opening up our eyes to something that a lot of people don't even know about.
Yes.
Right?
I hope after watching this that more people are inspired. I mean, if I got it, they can get it too.
That's how I feel about my show, Ethan. If I can do it, they can do it, right? And if you can do it, they can do it.
Yes.
So thank you for celebrating life. And what was that last award called again? I like the title for that.
The Daily Point of Light Award.
The Daily Point of Light.
Yes.
Yeah, let's shine on, right?
Yes.
Shine on. Thank you, Ethan. It's a pleasure to know you.
Thank
I said, thank you for calling and checking in on me on my days where I wasn't so joyful. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
There you go. Be the light in someone else's life. You know, volunteer. It can make all the difference in the world. Thank you for watching. I'm Donna Drake. We've been visiting with Ethan Klenofsky.
It's, puberty. Remember puberty? You're becoming a woman. You're becoming a woman. Yeah. Menopause. You're becoming your father. And I am not doing something in the house, like cleaning it. It is grounds for an argument. So I always make sure I'm cleaning when he comes home. Always, always. I hear that garage door open. I run up those stairs. I go, spray pledge in the house so it smells funny.
When you're pregnant, everybody thinks they could come up to you, right? You could be in a supermarket. Oh, you're having a baby. Let me see. Oh, little boy, little girl. It's like, hey, leave me alone. I think you should go up to the guy. Sam, good job, right? But certain things when you have kids are easy to figure out. How to change a diaper? That's simple. But I worried about other things, like how far do you stick an anal thermometer?
You realize, oh my gosh, there's a hurricane coming. I could be cooped up with my family with no power for weeks on end in the middle of the summer. We better go to the liquor store. Sure. Then you realize, oh my gosh, the hurricane is coming. We need some food.
Joining us now are Fran and Lou, and we're going to be talking about this great new comedy show that they have called Two Chicks and a what?
A Horsetail.
And a Horsetail. All right, and a Horsetail. Welcome to the show to you both.
Thank you, Donna.
So my audience knows Fran. Lou, you're new. This is our first time to meet.
Yeah, it's
so
my
nice
inauguration.
To meet you. Yes. Yeah, you know my zodiac sign, Gemini. What are you?
Scorpio.
Ah, very good.
So lots of things to talk about.
There you go. Tell me about your journey. So you've been on hundreds of podcasts. You're a car guy, but tell us a little bit about your background. So
I've been a stand-up comic going on 42 years and been really blessed to play with a lot of great guys. Larry the Cable Guy used to open for me.
Okay.
And then he shot right by me. And then I worked in New York and all those clubs, and I was opening act for Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong. I was the Cheech part, I guess. But anyway, and just been doing it a long, long time, and there's nothing better.
Wonderful. So what made you decide to get into comedy? Like, were you like the class clown? I was actually voted. Did you know that? I was voted the biggest ham. I was voted class clown. That was one of my accolades. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I was the class clown. So.
Actually, no, I wasn't the class clown at all. I was the quiet guy smirking in the back.
Okay.
Making fun of the class clown. He should have went here with that.
Already then interpreting jokes.
Right. Okay. So, and then what was your first stand-up gig?
I was a bouncer at a comedy club in Countryside Mall called Kisses Comedy Club.
Okay.
And the MC got a flat tire and couldn't make the show. So I'd been bouncing there for a while. I'm doing open mic night. And they gave me the tap. Lou, go open the show.
The show must go on, right?
And it did.
And how about you, Franny? What was your first stand-up?
Oh, my first stand-up was I won a contest that I didn't even know was a contest. I actually had asked God, give me a sign if I should do stand-up comedy. And I kept getting these signs from people, like I would do a handwriting analysis and it would say, you have a good sense of humor, use it to make money. And I was like, that's not a sign. Someone would tap me on the back of the shoulder. Oh, I'm over listening to your conversation. I'm like, that's not. And God's over there going, how many signs I got to give you?
Right, exactly.
So I walk into the front of the college that I usually go in one entrance. The other entrance was closed. I go in, I see a sign on the door, stand-up comedy auditions today. And the winner would perform at a comedy club that was 2 minutes from my house, even though the school was a half hour away.
Wow,
so
Fran.
I go, I'm looking for where the auditions were. They were literally in a broom closet. I had no idea what I said to the guy. He goes, I'll let you know who the winner is. And then I never went in that entrance again. And then I looked, I said, I wonder who won that contest. And my name was on the thing, call me. He said, you left, didn't leave a phone number. And the very first, so I was like, I didn't know you were there with a broom. I didn't think it was a real thing.
Right.
And then he said, said, first act you have to do, he goes, 5 minutes. And I said, okay. Then Tuesday he calls me, I need you to do 10 minutes. I go, 10 minutes? He goes, yeah. By Friday, he asked me if I could do a half an hour the very first time on stage.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Yeah. So I brought a teddy bear up there with little notes in the back. There happened to be a newspaper lady in the audience. Fran Capo wings her way successfully through her first live performance. So then they asked me to come back the second night and I bombed. So I got both ends of the business in two.
Wow, you
two
knew
nights.
what it was like. So that was your early beginning.
That's the story.
Yeah. So
That-
for me, I ended up doing. I did the stand up university in Long Island, which is where I'm from, and so I did my first 7 minutes, and I was. It's hard because you have to be so vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
You cannot hold your cards close. You need to completely be raw and just open to the audience because that's what makes it funny. People want to connect with your pain.
And
right?
it's the only art form that really, it's you up there. Like acting, you're using someone else's lines, different things, but you're up there raw, and if you bomb, it's all your fault. Yeah.
And the amazing thing about it is comics that are good, they make it look easy. So if people are sitting on their couch, they're going, I can do that.
Yeah, no, you can't.
But then the whole reality of everything comes in, and it's very hard. Like my first time up, I did great. Second time up, crickets.
Yeah. And you could be doing the same exact joke, but a lot of it has to do with what you're thinking while you're on stage. While I was on stage the second night, I was trying to remember how I acted the first night instead of being in the moment.
You weren't present.
And so I wasn't present. And you have to be very present and see that everything that's happening there and be able to respond to it and go, ooh, the audience isn't going for this material. Let me switch a little to this and be sensitive to the way that things are going.
Now, you have another partner in this thing that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So
Mary Ellen.
Okay, so
Yes.
Mary Ellen. So tell us about, have you worked with Mary Ellen before?
Yes, she wanted to be here, but she's actually lending a hand to the Ambidextrous Society today.
Understood.
So she's actually ambidextrous, but only with her right hand.
Yeah.
So she's in a special class.
Yeah, just by herself. Yeah.
Yes, but please give her my best. Give her my
we
regards.
will.
So
And
she's chick number one.
She's chick one. I'm chick two, chick three. And the way that it came to be was I used to book comedy clubs. I still do in New York. And this one comic was calling me, hey, Fran, can I work your club? I go, I'm in Florida right now. And he goes, you're in Florida? Where? And I tell him where. And he goes, do you know there's a girl named Mary Ellen that lives 20 minutes from you? So I called her. She came to the house. We became quick friends. She asks me, you want to come to the show and perform? I go, nah, I'm just going to watch. Lou is there. And so I'm watching. And then I say, oh, it's a good audience. And she goes, you sure you don't want to go up? I go, yeah. So then we all saw each other's show.
Nice.
And kidding around backstage, we went, we should do a show together. We went to a Chinese restaurant. We started talking about it. And I said, how about two chicks in a horsetail? Because he has a joke he does about his horsetail on stage. And then we started getting booked. And now we're booked all over Florida and different places, RV resorts, like churches, everywhere.
Yeah, there's a really great dynamic in the show. The way it, Mary Ellen, who, this sounds misogynistic, but it's not. She's guy funny.
Okay.
She's, and then this lady with all of her antics and stories, and then the speed talking, and it's all.
And all of her stories are truthful.
I know, it's amazing.
Donna knows.
Things that really, I'm like, oh, I remember when that happened, or I remember that story, or I remember that. So.
Okay, so you're having cookies in the bottom of a volcano. All
Right, exactly. I know people think, they go, you say it as if you're going to Walmart.
Right.
I go, but that is my life. Zip line, it's all the volcano, do a book signing at top of Kilimanjaro.
It was actually molten lava cake.
There you go.
But anyway.
Oh, there you go. But
Sorry.
I understand. It's set up, punch.
Yeah, right.
Set up. But
She knows. She
I
took that
understood.
class.
Right, but I understood.
Sure.
Cookies on a volcano, but the molten lava cake is even funnier because there you are. And how about you? What does your comedy consist of, Lou? Where do you
A
find
straight
your...
monologist.
Okay.
Series of, it's a blend, one-liners, short stories, and it's it.
Well, you know what? One bit I like, and it works perfect. Like we're in the studio right now, happen to be in Tampa, in Florida, right? About the hurricanes, because when you don't live in Florida and you experience it the first time, it's very different. And Lou, tell them some of the stuff that you.
Well, when you first, if you've been here a while, they tell you, they go, hey, there's a hurricane coming. And you're going, yeah, sure there is. And I moved here in 1969. And we had hurricanes then, but we didn't have the technology that they have now. They got Doppler radar systems. They're $27 million to install, and they're 57% accurate. They're 7% more accurate than a coin toss. So we had we had hurricanes, but back then the weather guy would come on in the middle of the afternoon and go, "Hey, go home,"
It's gonna rain. There's gonna be heavy wind.
But now it's really it's quite high tech. They got the spaghetti lines. They have the European model, which is my favorite, and
because you also like nice cars.
Oh yes, that's exactly right. Yes, and but there must have been a lawsuit or something because they really used to have the precision with the way the tracking was going, but they really spread it out now. They're like, okay, the hurricanes can hit somewhere between Belize and Bimini, right around in there. That joke is even funnier if you're good at geography. But
I laughed. I laughed. I kind of swallowed the laugh. I thought it was funny. But I did see in the trailer. The fact is that if you're watching, a certain channel and it doesn't give you the weather that you
Right.
like, you just change the channel.
Yeah.
Right? The way you tell it is much funnier. There's much more about it. But
yeah,
so
when you're
this is-
communicating with your friends, you're going, "Hey, watch the hurricane on Channel 8. We're
Right.
not getting hit on Channel 8.
Right.
Yeah, we're burnt toast on Channel 13. Don't watch it on Channel 13."
It's not good. And in all seriousness, we did a fundraiser with my television show. We filled 2 4-foot stockings. So one of them is coming to this area because we do have friends that have been affected, and the other 4-foot stocking full of products is going to North Carolina. And then we just did a fundraiser also for the fires that are happening in California. So comedy is really that, but enough time has to pass before it's funny. So comedy is taking tragedy. Well, you go ahead, Fran.
It's tragedy plus time.
Right.
That's always comedy's tragedy plus time. But the thing is, we actually also just recently did a comedy fundraiser at Stage West Theater where there was about 20 performers and we each donated our time so they could raise money to help the people in Hernando County because that's where we live and had been hit. But comedy is, you do have to be very careful because if you say the joke too soon, literally comics will go too soon.
Too soon factor.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah.
But this wasn't too soon. This was right on time.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. So it is 2 chicks and a horsetail.
Right. And they can find us on Facebook. And
Okay.
also, if you go to francapo.com, there's a link to the Facebook there.
She's loaded with links.
Yeah,
She
loaded
is.
with links.
She's linked.
She's
And
all
I'm not
linked
even a
up.
European model.
Friend link. Capo.com. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you there.
Beautiful.
If you like to laugh like I like to laugh, check them out and be well.
Three o'clock snack time is not just for adults anymore. Stay tuned. Joining us now is Steve, and he represents Snakkidz. That's right, Snakkidz. It's a new product. I'm excited to have him here, and the squirrel is actually named Steve, so let's find out why. Steve, why is the squirrel named Steve? Is it after you?
No, it's actually after my uncle, I'm a part of the family business with his sons. And a funny story, my son, when I told him that we're naming it Stevie, he said that I kind of look like the squirrel.
Well, let me see. Maybe
little bit.
that you do. These things are absolutely delicious. Tell us about Snakkidz. How did this begin?
It was kind of divine timing. My cousins had a manufacturing, they still do a manufacturing company up in Toronto. I've always done digital marketing. And we kind of got together one day and they were talking about creating their own brand. I had the background they were looking for. And when we came together to create Snakkidz, we all have kids, and we really thought about what is needed today in today's landscape. And I go to school, and there's a lot of junk that they serve to kids, and it's really important to me that there's a product that one is everyone can use, so it's allergen-free, gluten-free, and then the quality of the ingredients. So it's non-GMO, organic, it's made with avocado oil, so I feel good giving it to my son.
When I grew up, it was the generation where you would put like the Hostess products. It was like peanut butter and jelly, a Hostess product, a bag of chips, and, a thermos full of something, maybe Kool-Aid, you know. Okay, and that's how I grew up, and it's okay. I'm still alive. I'm not going to win. Obviously, I'm still alive because I'm here. But then when I became a parent, I tried to give, the kids like a little healthier version, right? But now this is even better, right?
Absolutely.
Because this actually is a proven healthier option.
Yes.
Okay. So these ingredients, right? I can read them off the box. There's not like all kinds of hidden crazy ingredients and things
Nope.
like that. It's got a little bit of iron in it for you. So this snack, right?
Yep.
It's good for us, good for them. What's your favorite flavor? You have chocolate chip, you have a few flavors, and a new one that you're announcing.
Yep. So we have chocolate chip and strawberry. Out of those two, I think I lean towards chocolate chip. But there's a brand new one we're releasing next month, which is gonna be Chunky Monkey. It's banana and chocolate. And I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but it's definitely my favorite.
That's your favorite. When you're coming up with this type of new company, right? What are some challenges that you all face that could help other business owners? What were some of the things you needed to do?
Absolutely. I think it's taking action and then pivoting as you go.
Okay.
Right? So inaction, I think, is one of the worst things, is just paralysis, analysis by paralysis. And so as you go, like we hired an agency and it wasn't working out, and so we were able to pivot, right? And I think it's just learning continuously and not being scared to change direction.
And who are some of your biggest testimonials from? Like, do you do target audience groups and have like tastings and things?
Absolutely. So when we launched in June, the biggest thing we did was we really wanted feedback. So we launched on Amazon. And the beauty of Amazon is you're going to get feedback, good or bad. And so we take that feedback, we took it back, we changed recipes, we're creating new flavors because of it. And we even have new product lines coming out a little bit later this year based on some of the things we've heard from our customers.
Well, with you being such a new company, I was really honored that you said yes to the invitation, that you wanted to come on and celebrate this, because I'm always looking for new things that I feel can help the community,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And I saw this and I was like, well, there you go. It's healthy snacks for kids. Like, how can we go wrong with that? Right?
Yeah.
You're doing something good for the world.
I'm very grateful you had us on for
No,
that
it's
reason.
it's cool to have you. And so these things are also portable, right? They come in a box. You could like put one in your diaper bag and in your packet and in something else.
They're the best. They're made to be on the go, right?
Okay.
So they're kid-friendly size. I give them to my son for school, whether he's at chess or he's at football. I bring him to all his friends. So it's amazing.
And when you said you were preparing for the Ironman, how did you do?
Oh, I did good. So
did well?
I finished. That was the goal, was to finish.
Okay.
And then I did some halves after that just to kind of keep it going and stay in shape.
Okay, so if it could work for big kids too.
Absolutely.
Like
Just
us,
bring a couple
right?
of them, yeah.
Two
Yes,
instead of one.
I agree.
I thank you very, very much. What is one thing that you're hoping this product does? Are you hoping to someday have a scholarship for people, a Snakkidz scholarship? Like, how big do you feel like this could get?
Yeah, I mean, really, the purpose behind it is also to educate families on food literacy. And
Okay.
what I mean by that is looking at the back of the box. And you talked about it growing up. It was, yeah, it's fine. And I get a lot of times, well, I ate it when I was a kid. But the health of our kids are getting worse and worse now. And if you look at what's being fed, and you can even compare what they serve in Europe versus the US, I felt like it was important to educate families to make their own decision. And there was a lack of education. That's really what I hope what Snakkidz is able to achieve.
Well, I also think that, when you're not comparing apples and oranges, the type of food that went into our lunch box was made with different ingredients than what we have right now.
100%.
Does that make sense to you? Right? I'm just gonna say a bologna sandwich is different then than it is now, but it's true. It's a different thing.
100%.
So thank you so much. There you go, Snakkidz. They're delicious and nutritious. So enjoy. Be well.
This is Donna Drake. Happy journeys.
Take my hand, come with me, and we'll find better ways to be something much more. Live it up, live it up, live it up now.
Thanks for watching Live It Up. You can visit us at liveituptvshow.com.